this one came directly to my LinkedIn account. So let me switch gears and find where that was. But it was an interesting question. Yeah. All right. So I'm running a CAS practice right now. Don't know the size. So client accounting services, outsourced accounting practice right now. Currently, I just consult on QuickBooks, Xero, and Acumatica are the three. The core of this question then becomes, should I service all providers, including Intacct, or should I really try to focus in one or two core areas? QuickBooks has the largest market share right now. So Emily, that might be more up your alley.
Nope.
If you're running
This is not me.
Okay. The question is basically, should I focus on one platform to really run a CAS department, or should I be kind of servicing all the players out there in the software space?
I'm going to go with a neither.
That's it. I love it. Wow.
No, so
you heard it here first.
So look, there is a subset of clients, good clients, that will always be in QuickBooks and Xero. And to the listener's point, QuickBooks has the largest market share, 39%, if I'm not mistaken, 39% in North America or US. I think it's North America. Intacct is 9 or 10%, but then you start having like a ton of these different like products. I don't know where Acumatica is, but Acumatica is kind of known from manufacturing component. I mean, how many manufacturers out there in the United States right now or in North America? I don't know what that percentage breakdown is. I personally would say, hey, pick your small business platform and pick your ERP platform and focus on those two components. It's probably going to be QuickBooks and either Intacct, NetSuite, or Dynamics. Now, Acumatica is very specific as a niche, and I think what's interesting about this, and I'd really like to know more about the organization that's there, is that I'm assuming what they have is a industry niche that would support Acumatica. Now, Emily, didn't Eisner Empner do Acumatica?
We have Intacct. We have a rather large Intacct CAS practice. I think we do Yardi.
That makes sense. Real estate,
Yeah.
and Intacct can't compete with the real estate component of Yardi, right? Even though Yardi is a little bit more of a legacy type product, but I think Emily.
Yardi is a very niche product, and I think Intacct is still catching up on the real estate their module. So I think if you're in property management and you're choosing between Intacct and Yardi, Intacct is working on their module. So I think that maybe the choice would be Yardi for you. But yeah, that's on Intacct and Yardi. I think that's the only ones that we do. And then we have VAR practices of Sage Intacct and Workday Adaptive Planning.
Yep. And Workday is another one that has some niche applications. I'm not as familiar with it, but again, if you're a CAS organization that is spending or focused specifically on, call it restaurants or call it construction firms, you're going to want to pick that software that aligns best with you. Now, I use two that Intacct does well in, and so I'm not saying to go outside of Intacct for those two, but I would not try to be a CAS practice that deploys services between multiple ERPs. And here's why. It is challenging enough for a CAS practice to keep up with the evolving changes that happen on a quarterly basis with the multitude of modules in Intacct or NetSuite. And I'm going to focus on those two right now because I don't need to keep throwing out names. That if you start going too wide, then you're gonna lose that specialty, that knowledge, that expertise. Now, you start getting into the top 100 firms where they have multiple offices and they've acquired multiple CAS firms, and maybe their West Coast CAS firm specialized in Intacct, and their Midwest was NetSuite, and their East Coast, and I'm making this up obviously, was Dynamics. Maybe there's a play there. But if we're talking about an organization that is kind of on the more average size, I guess is the better way to put it. I think it's a major challenge trying to keep up with that evolving feature set and technology.